Thank you, George. I'm honored to be here and to be a part of Future Friday. You have me for a little while this time, so I'm just gonna get it going. The first poem is called I Am Not Afraid. I am not afraid of the rain. I am not afraid of going insane. I am not afraid of living my life. I am not afraid of doing what's right. I am not afraid of burning crosses. I am not afraid of financial losses. I am not afraid of trying to end strife. I am not afraid of standing up to the man, and I am not afraid of drawing a line in the sand. I am not afraid of what people say. I am not afraid I won't live to see the next day. I am not afraid of what's beyond the grave, and I am not afraid of political knaves. I am not afraid of Hitler wannabes. I am not afraid of Syrian refugees. I am not afraid of hungry and homeless people who need compassion from you and me. I am certainly not afraid of gay people who have to pee. I am not afraid of Africa's warm embrace. I am not afraid of losing face. I am not afraid of the word black. I am not afraid of people's empathetic lack. I am not afraid of people from the Middle East. I am not afraid of advocating peace. I am not afraid of complex women. I am not afraid of refusing to believe what I see on television. I am not afraid of nuclear war. Yeah, I know we should be, but we have been here before. I am not afraid of claiming Egyptian pyramids. I am not afraid to say Haitian freedom is not dead. I am not afraid of learning to speak French. I am not afraid to think the gospel was heaven sent. I am not afraid of a thing called sex. I am not afraid to see what is beyond the chest. I am not afraid of the Great Depressions. I am not afraid of us never being a mature nation. I am not afraid of all my political tears. Most of us feel like Cherokees wandering through the years. I am not afraid to make things right. I am not afraid to be alone standing by the lonely light. I am not afraid of anything in this world. I'm not even afraid of marrying that girl. I know you think that these are contradictions, but I am afraid. I am utterly terrified that reason may become a thing of past fictions. Oh, thank you. That will help. I just need some place to put the poems down after I'm done. The next one is called Promised Land. The Promised Land is before your eyes. If only you would realize. The Promised Land can be here and now. If only you could let your eyes see how. The Promised Land is what we all seek. We just have to stop hurting the meek. How can we be so greedy as we take bread from the needy? How can we really pretend to care as we even deny the sick health care? How can we pretend to care when we won't even give the homeless a bed to share? How can we protest the cries as we smack the tears off someone else's eyes? The Promised Land is for you and me. It begins with us, you need to see. But this is a warning for those that stray. Just don't get in the Promised Land's way. It is coming here, ready or not. We have so many chances to prevent the rot. the rot of spirit, body, and mind. I see the divine leaving you behind, not for your creed or even your lack of faith, but just for forsaking your brothers and sisters in this God-forsaken resting place. The promised land is real, if only you let it be. Just open your eyes and let yourself see. If you try to build a great wall to stop the compassion, the only thing that's going to save us from assured devastation. My warning is not a threat of power or might. You yourself will have earned the universe's spite. My friends and I will do nothing to you, as the universe's wrath seeks you out for the rest of your days, slowly decaying you. The promised land is a candle lit with a never-ending flame, removing the disgrace of hatred and shame. The promised land is here and the nation is growing. You can't stop the people therein. Your only real choice is joining. Now one heavy one, really old. And this one is called A Little Disagreement. The voice of a moment said, "Love makes you do foolish things." My silence showed her I was deeply uncaring, but that was not the truth at all. The truth was, I did not believe that. And after what I have seen, heard, felt, and may have done, depending on the readers of yore. Hope you feel what I'm trying to say. I know what love is, and in its genuine forms it comes as this: a desire to be kind and compassionate, with the power to hear and to listen to the other, even when you disagree. With a passionate honesty that burns as bright as the stars in the skies, even though no one can always tell what they mean. A need to protect the other no matter what, to give your time for the other's benefit, to truly care for the other, even when you hear what the other has to say, just to hear it, and for no other reason except that you want to. Letting your love overcome anything, to give yourself as loyally as one can, as purely as one can, to give love to the other, for you know what they are worth. A true lover knows this, and a true lover in love doesn't let the beloved do unwise things for him or things he'd be unwilling to do for her, and you can trust that real and sincere men learn this from experience. I don't aim to offend, for every word I write comes from a good place. Love refuses to use the other, for this is not a deed of roses, but of thorns. Love all day long will hope the other is happy, will love the other even when it means letting go or saying no, will witness the other's heart and let the paradise speak thereof. This is love at the essence, at the heart, at the most rare and powerful. In the madness of days, it is very hard to see and perform, and yet it does exist. You can't buy it or earn it. You have it inside or you don't. You have it to give or you don't. This is love to the wise who give themselves in this manner. The true way of love is this. And I'm just letting you know of my little disagreement, for it comes from the heart and soul, with no bitterness and no regrets, just my gift of paradoxical honesty for everyone to see throughout the sands of time. Let this disagreement stand and go on, as my ashes meet the dust. May this debate continue until the stars are forsaken and the moon sheds herself of light, as the sun begins to disappear and becomes no more. For love without this disagreement is meaningless. And however you got involved in it, be eternally grateful. For the deep creators of this debate have no reason to chant tears for the years. And this is a poetic revelation of spring 2003. These are the last 5, then I'm done, but they're the shortest ones. This one is called In Another Time. In another time, more than words is what we left behind. In another time, the darkness ran when it saw me come near. And another time, I was more than a smile on my face, and you were more than disgrace. Another time and place, I had a wife who forgave all my foolhardy mistakes. And another time and place, I was more than the sum of the years and total of the fears. And another time and place, the hate bowed before the night, and you had a chance to see the light. And another time and place, there was no war in Iraq and the human soul. And another time and place, your love for me is the same as it was before, and we were never poor. And another time and place, tears were a thing of the past, and happiness was made to last. And another time and place, I was at peace with all men and never lifted a sword again. In another time and place, in another time and place, love has the last word, and I finally married that girl. But we are not in another time and place. We are in this one. Why can't we be in another time and place? Last three, and then back to your regular scheduled programming. For Wizard of Oz fans, it's called Letter to Dorothy. Dear Dorothy, I don't write you very often, and that may seem unkind, but the truth is, there's a lot on my mind. We went to the land of Oz together, and that is when the dreams meet the thunder. I was never going for the same reasons as others. I was not lacking brains, I have more than enough. I was not missing courage, that has never been my vice. And my heart, it may be broken in 1,000 ways, but it is still working. I am not the Tin Man, Lion, or Scarecrow, but you know I was never a fan of the color yellow, and the road they spoke of was never meant for me. It is as clear as the eye can see. I went to the land of Oz knowing there was someone less than me behind the curtain, making all the wrong decisions, and I knew this place could be better. The witches of Oz learned that Haitians are not afraid of anything, and that messing with us only leads to disorder. I knew there was a choice that mattered, and you can say that it was all a dream, and rub the red shoes together all you like if you want. This was me reminding you of what our dreams could be like. And so, in closing, dear Dorothy, sweet Dorothy, after seeing all this and knowing what has happened, and knowing that I am the storm with sun rays, I am only wondering, can you rule the land of Oz with me? This one is I Remembered. I remembered when I was kind. Those times are far behind. I remember when I used to care and shed many tears. I remember when we were friends and loyalty has only just began. I remember when your words mattered, when mine and yours were something pure. I remember when the idea of the nations of the world was used to bring us together. I remember when you said something true, and I remember what I liked about you. I remember what it means to be kind. I remember what it means to be human. I remember what it means to love beyond sight, not the kiddie stuff you see on TV. And I remember all these are choices. And my choice is choosing to remember the best of me and the best of you. But I can only make sure that I hold on to the best of me and all that's good about me. Last one, written especially for the venue. This is called Cosmic Intervention. So these times we're in seem dark and bleak as can be. We have Hitler wannabes, we have tragedies and refugees. We have many sad moments, and human tears are not paying anyone's rent. You wonder why this happened, who was to blame? Do you think this is just another era of historic shame? But maybe you are wrong. Maybe we all have been wrong. Maybe this is your chance for something new, a chance for something that only you can do. Maybe you can learn the compassion that you never received, or maybe that bleeding heart of yours can bring someone crying to their knees. Maybe your blues was meant to save someone else, and that is worth all the time you spent by yourself. Maybe you have all the answers. Maybe you don't. But we have moved beyond taking notes, and I declare, no. I demand this is not a time of apathy, of loss, and endless confusion. This is a time of renewed revolution, of holy missions, and social visions. This is a moment for clear heads and full hearts. This is not the time to lose your spark. You think this is some kind of divine devastation? I am telling you right now, we have been given a great cosmic intervention. For the times demand that we use all our power to save the future, because this may be our last chance, and interventions were never meant to last forever.
Make some noise for Alex Best, everybody.
Sorry for another Q-Day.
Who's got the first question? Go for it.
Hi.
Really good.
What is the hardest poem you've ever written? This is my favorite question to ask.
The one I read, Little Disagreement, I wrote that when I was 18 years old, and I was pretty emotionally annihilated at the time. Okay, so that was the hardest, because that was the most like rawest, honest, vulnerable, all that stuff is right there, and I never read it in public. So that's like getting to Nero to say, you know, you're talking to me. Okay, that's just to be. I never read that one in public, like very sparingly. All right, yeah, I was 18, and all right, and the inspired it, the person who inspired it, she's never seen it. Okay, so and she's never going to see it. Okay, that's okay. All right.
It's like that.
Yeah, it's like that. I was like, no. All right, and she lives in this state, by the way. I used to live in Georgia. She lives right here. Yeah, I'm still friends with her mother. So yeah.
Look, we all got poems like that.
Yeah, she's still. Yeah, and her mother's still like, "Where's Alex? When are you gonna get him back?" That's never gonna happen.
Talk a little bit about the mic you do over on the other side.
I'm not the host of the Aromas. I'm the backup official resident poet there. So that's not mine. Right? That's Austin. He hosted. He's the Professor X. I'm Magneto for that one. All right. So okay, I try to encourage all the poets more because there's some musicians who think they're better than poets, and there's some poets who think they're better than musicians. My thing is community poetry, which I do at a library every 2 months or so. All right, and we combine the musicians and the poets together deliberately. All right. The comedians across the water kind of suck, so there's an anti-comedian policy there for the most part, but you can come, you're okay. Okay. All right, okay, I'll make exceptions for like you and the two other guys here. That's it, okay, but yeah, so we combine the musicians and the poets. I love music and I love poetry, and I think those two groups should interact more. And there's an interesting bigotry in the artistic community between poets and musicians that is really, really stupid to observe, but some people really got it, okay? And I know one musician who really has it, I know some poets really have it. And so we did 6 of them last year, January, March, May, July, October, and we select one in through December. And so we're gonna do it again, all right, okay? And we do it for 3 hours, that's gonna be 4 hours now. And it turned out pretty nicely. It just sort of, okay, it wasn't a master plan. It's not necessarily an open mic so much as it is like striving for the timeless, because everyone says open mic. So it's like, bring your best self here and have your Denzel moment. Because I like filming things, and you don't like being filmed, don't show up, Okay, that's, okay, so, and I am sensitive to like people's jobs and so forth. So if there's just one particular poem that you don't want that one filmed, okay, we'll talk about it later. And if you just want to, if you come, just ask me what do you think is cool or what isn't, okay? Because I want kids to come too. So some poems aren't for kids, but I also like teenagers to be there. So it's, okay, and so we have different age groups, and yeah, it's interesting because I managed to get conservative Republicans and Democrats in the room together, which I don't know how. I don't know how I. Right. Okay. So I was jokingly called by a friend the white guy whisperer. Okay, but that's, okay, but that's another. That's too long to go into that. Okay.
That's the poem.
I kind of ask everybody the question. As far as your creative process goes, do you have a part of every day that you spend writing, or are you the type of person who's like me, like if you get it in your head, you better write it out now, or you'll lose it forever?
I'm both of that. Okay, I mean, there are certain things I write like immediately, and it doesn't take me that long to remember. I'll put on a cliff note or whatever, just write a title and then go from there. And then there are things I plan for like months and months at a time, so it's a mixture of both. Okay, but as far as I go with writing, if I'm breathing, I'm writing something or I'm creating something. So it's like, don't even. It really should be, what are you writing today? Yeah. Not am I writing? Because I'm involved in it somehow, in some shape, form, or fashion, in some part of the creative process. All right. Usually it's writing, because that's where it all starts for me. Because you can write anything. You can write a song, a screenplay, a poem. All right. That's the key to everything. That's a gateway drug to everything. All right. Writing is everything starts from there. Comedy. Okay. And I love comedic writers, which I'll talk to you about later, because I want to go into that now. But yeah, so it's. Starts from there for me writing. Everything starts with writing. I write obsessively, and I steal from myself constantly because I'll forget what I write. All right, half of those poems in there, I forgot what I like. Oh, I wrote that. Okay, wow.
Who else has a question?
I'm sorry if I missed. Somebody's already asked you this. How do you feel as I've noticed in music and comedy, it seems like there's this push to always be coming out with new content and always to retire old content. How do you feel about that as a poet?
I think as long as the content is good or honest, you should just stick with it. Okay, I mean, I don't think you should segregate between the old and new. I mean, yeah, it's good to have new stuff, but sometimes it's like it works. I mean, that was a mixture of 2 decades old stuff, and then the last creed was things I wrote Tuesday. So I like to mix it up, and I think that if you have a standard for yourself and you're not ashamed of anything, like I've like changed a line or something in some poems here or there, but I'm pretty much the same guy I was when I was 19, and poetically speaking. Okay. Okay.
One more time for Alex Best.
Thank you guys for having me. Really.